welcome back. Still watching Business Morning right here on Channels Television. Ethical Living Project is a community development initiative of African Capital Alliance Foundation, and they say it's designed to elevate the consciousness of ethical decision-making and value-driven leadership among Nigerian youth. And they say this initiative is implemented in partnership with Enactus Nigeria, and for 3 years, the program has engaged education system in Lagos State through the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education to build the capacity of young people in the senior secondary school through a blended training system that taught values like integrity, leadership, and community responsibility. And we have a result of one result from that 3 years. A winner, the grand prize winner of a 5 million naira scholarship right here in the studio, Paulina Monu. She's a winner. Hello, Paulina. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, so you won 5 million naira. That's a lot of money. Yeah? You saved your parents a lot of expenses in scholarship. Yeah? Let's hear your voice. Aren't you the winner?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you imposing somebody?
No.
So let's hear your voice. And then we have the sponsor of that, represented by the head, External Relations, African Capital Alliance, Mr. Robert Awodu. Mr. Awodu, good morning. Welcome to the program.
Good morning, and thank you for having us.
Did you hear his voice? That's how I want to hear your voice, yeah? Okay, so let's start from you, Mr. Awodu. Tell us about this. We know you're working with a secondary school and all of that. You've been on for 3 years. Tell us what you really want to achieve. We know you have a winner here, but tell us more about the gains of what you have been doing.
All right, thank you for that. So the Ethical Living Project was born out of a very simple but important observation that many of the challenges we face as a society, from corruption, dishonesty, indiscipline, they are fundamentally ethical challenges, right? And at the ACA Foundation, we realize that lasting societal transformation begins with values. And these values need to be cultivated early in life. So we designed the project, the Ethical Living Project, to engage with secondary school students at their formative stage. So we help them to understand ethics, we help them to, not just as an abstract concept, right, but more as a decision-making tool that they do every single day of their life, right? And that's how we've coined the project. Our implementation strategy is in threefold. So one, we do the education, then we do engagement, and then action. So first, we deliver a structured workshop to the students across 6 weeks in all the schools, where we introduce ethics to them, integrity, community development, and a lot more. And then second, we encourage them to reflect on these ethical issues that they face in their community through an essay competition, right? And then we reward the top 3 students across each school, and then the top 3 students across the 40 schools at a grand finale, and that's where one won
So she went through the first stage,
yes,
the 3 schools, then the next stage, and then the grand
finale, yes,
one.
So that's how. And so right now, Mono she's a role model to her peers, right? And that's what we want to achieve. And then finally, we establish ethics clubs in all of these participating schools, because we want...
So one will be the president of Wesley, yeah?
More or less. So, because we want the learnings to continue beyond these workshops, right? Yeah,
so you want to do that through those clubs?
Ethics clubs,
so
yes.
when those clubs are created,
yes,
are you still in touch with them? Do you intervene,
yes,
or how does that work for the sustainability?
Yes, so for week on week, we go around the school to ensure that they actually sit together, they have those peer-to-peer learnings, and they come up with an ethical initiative within their school. So that's how we do it across the year, until we run the program again the following year.
Interesting. So, Paulina, congratulations.
Thank you, ma'am.
Being a grand, that means you are very ethical, yeah? So tell us, just share with us your experience, how you got into this, and, you know, what are some of those, they're talking about ethics, leadership, and all of that. What are some of the outstanding lessons that you think you would practice, at least for the rest of your life, you understand, that you have learned from this?
My participation in the ethical living program has taught me that integrity, honesty, responsibility, and respect are values that should guide our daily actions. One of the greatest impacts that this program has been, it has been on my emotional intelligence. You know, how to manage and understand my emotions, relate respectfully with others, and never to look down on myself. And also, I learned that ethical living is not just a topic for discussion. It is a way of life that can positively impact others in the society. And also, I learned that one positive action can change the whole society.
Okay, so you tell me now, apart from all of this you're saying, connect it to your everyday life, your interactions, what has changed? These lessons you say you have learned, how have you been living it out? Your school, at home, with your parents, with your friends, and even your teachers.
Okay, the lessons I've learned.
So maybe you used to fight with your friend before, but now you know, okay, because of what I learned, I won't fight with you, I'll have a word with you. You know, something like that. Has anything like that changed?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, give me one example.
I abuse a lot. So through the ethical program, I learned how to appreciate others' thoughts and, you know, to bring them together to have a common goal and to achieve it.
So are you the one leading the ethical club in your school?
I don't know yet.
You don't know yet, but you know how to make people do it, yeah?
Yes, ma'am.
Please, let her lead. I'm just... So tell us, I mean, are you just in Lagos? Wesley School is in Lagos.
Yes.
Is that where you are now or something?
Yes, so the focus right now is on Lagos State, but our goal is to ensure that this program scales beyond Lagos, and we want more young people across the nation, right, to be introduced to the program, and that's the ultimate goal. But for now, we're just in Lagos State.
I mean, when you talk about Nigeria, you know we're very diverse in this country. So the way you deal with Paulina in Wesley will obviously be different from the way you deal with a child in Mushi, there in Yaba, or the way you deal with a child in Ogun State. Do you have a plan that considers those specifics?
Yes, so across the different schools, while we have a curriculum that guides how facilitators teach ethics in all of those schools, we understand that not every child is the same and not every student is the same, right? So we ensure that the facilitators are taught. So there's a train the trainer session where the facilitators are taught on the nuances across the different regions, right? Because like you rightly said, a student in Ikorodu is definitely different from a student in Lagos Island or in Yaba, right? So yes, so that approach is always different, and that's what we build into the curriculum to show that we train the facilitators to be able to deal with the specifics.
Are the facilitators the teachers?
No, so we have facilitators, like you mentioned, we implement this program through our partner called Enactors Nigeria, right? So they put together some facilitators from their own network, and then we have volunteers from African Capital Alliance, some staff that also volunteer for the program. So we all go through that training as facilitators before we go into the schools to teach the students.
What about the teachers?
So
they are the ones looking after these children.
Yes, so they serve as supervisors, right? So while we're teaching...
So that means you also have to train them?
Yes, so they come through the trainings as well. So they serve as supervisors, and they're the ones that would help us. So because this is a 6-week program, afterwards we leave them back to the teachers, right? And they are the ones that will follow through on everything that we've thought.
So outside the club, Paulina, at home with your friends, how do you try to influence them or share the lessons you have learned? How do you try to move that or teach them that so that you can be more in your ethical practice?
I'll try to, bring them together, tell them the lessons I've learned, and, tell them to do the better things in the society, and also to encourage them that the sky is always our starting point, it's never our limit.
What about at home?
Okay. I'll try to bring my siblings together.
Are you sure you're doing this or you're just saying it?
No,
or you're going to do it? You haven't started, but you will start doing it.
I'm already doing
Everybody's watching you.
Yes, I'm already doing it.
You're already doing it.
Yes, well.
Okay, I'm going to call and follow up and ask that, is Paulina really doing these things? Eh? Okay, so how do you start this process? For those who are watching and are interested, how does it go?
Okay,
what are the requirements?
Okay, so for one, we work closely with the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education, right? And then we go through all the educational districts to reach out to them that we want to run this program, and if schools are interested, they should indicate. And then we go to those schools to ensure that they have the necessary equipment that are needed, because we need a projector, we need sound systems, and if they're even interested, because some schools, to be fair, some schools you go to and they're like, oh, it's not something that we're looking at the moment, right? Yeah. But so those are the basic. We just want them to show interest, and then we go to just do a check that there's a classroom that's conducive enough for us to have those classes across the 6 weeks. And then if they don't have the necessary things that we need, maybe like a projector, a sound system, we put that into the plan to ensure that we provide that as well. And that's it. So it's really
not... So it's one school at a time,
no, so
a cycle.
We run across, so we did, for the first edition, we did 10 schools, second edition 20, but this edition we did 40 schools.
Wow,
so across the 40
lot.
schools, we are running the workshop simultaneously.
What's the duration of this workshop that you
So it's 6 weeks.
Okay,
so every week, every Wednesday, because that's when they do co-curricular activities, right? So that's when we do it for 1 to 2 hours every week for 6 weeks.
I'm curious about, the areas you concentrate on. Even though you have said schools are at liberty to say we're not interested. Because sometimes when we have some of these juicy things, it goes to the people who can actually afford it. I mean, you've given her a 5 million naira scholarship. And we thank God for that, and we thank you for that. And it brings a lot of relief to her parents.
Yes.
There are areas where those things are really, really needed. And I know you know what I mean.
Yes.
And there are areas where, we can afford it anyway. I hope you're concentrating on the areas where those parents really need this relief.
So, the reality is it's across all secondary schools, right? So government schools, right? But mostly government schools, right? Because we know that that's where you have a lot more kids that their parents most likely not afford the kind of education that they would like for their child, right? And that's where the focus is mostly on, right? But the reality is we cannot say, oh, we are only teaching ethics to people in, for example, Badagry, and not to people in Lagos Island. We want students across Lagos State, across the country, to understand this basic concept.
Economic strata and status.
They need to understand the concept. So it's not about how much you have in your bank account, right? You just need to know the values and what to do at the right time. Yeah.
All right. So, Paulina, do you have any message for your friends watching?
My message to my fellow students is to embrace the values promoted by the Ethical Living Initiative. I want them to know that they should never relent, and they should keep trying even when success does not come immediately. Opportunities like this are proof that dedication and perseverance are rewarded. A year ago, I never imagined I would be sitting here as the overall winner. So I want them to know that if they put in their best, the moment of recognition will just be around the corner. Today may be my turn, tomorrow could be theirs. So I want them to know that Martin Luther King said, and I quote, "The time is always right to do what is right. Let us choose integrity today so that our community can enjoy a better tomorrow." Thank you.
And they should also know that corruption is not just in the political sphere. It's also at home, in school. And we all need to start fighting it early. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
All those ethical and everything, corruption, doing wrongs, all those things, they are the daily things that we live with. Yeah?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Paulina, any last words, final words?
Yeah, I just want to encourage the students, right? Like she rightly said, you might not have won this year, but I need you to ensure that you embrace what we taught you in the classes, right? I'll just give a very short example. This thing is a multiplier effect. A student told me that one day she was with her sister, her younger sister. They went out together. She bought snacks, and then there was no bin for her to trash it. And then she put it in her bag and took it home. And dropped it in the bin. So from that day, it was the last time our younger sister ever trashed some on the road. So it's those little things that count, right? And I just want to encourage every student to ensure they do what is right, no matter how difficult it is.
All right, yeah, thank you so much. If the younger ones will come and teach the adult like us, I think it's still a good thing. Thank you so much for coming on the program. Robert Awodu, the head External Relations, African Capital Alliance Foundation, and the winner of the grand prize of 5 million naira scholarship, Paulina Monu. Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, let's take a break. When we come back, we'll be discussing trade here on Business Morning. Please stay with us.